Hey everybody, it's Fear Doorstop, and today we're going to go through three sets that I think were the most important to me as a player. At least these are the three most important Ultimate sets. I couldn't find some Smash 4 sets that were also very important to me. But certainly in Ultimate, these are like the most important, I think, as like my development and growth and as a player. I think there's also a good chance that if you've ever heard of me before I joined Fear, it's probably from one of these three sets. So yeah, let's get into it really quickly. The first one is me versus Jin at ESG Yuletide, which was a regional that happened 10 days after Ultimate. To give you some backstory to this tournament, in Smash 4, there was this region called like the Ohio River Valley region. I don't think it was officially called that, but that's effectively what it was. Where Cincinnati players, Kentucky players, and Indiana players tended to all go to each other's tournaments. Cincinnati didn't really interact with the rest of Ohio the way they do now, and they kind of like stuck to Kentucky and Indiana for the tournaments they went to. So like in this sub-region, in Smash 4, by the end of it, I had been like a top 10 player. I had been good, but I wasn't winning any of the regionals in Smash 4. I was like placing in top 8s, but never really getting to like even grand finals for that part. And this, in Smash Ultimate, when it dropped, everything changed. All the people who were on top, everything became questionable. We weren't sure like who was really good, who was playing really good characters. No one knew what the tier list was like. Everyone had their own tricks, and nobody knew any matchups. And this tournament was a huge, stressful tournament for me, because I remember like having to learn matchups for my round 1s, round 2s on the fly. Most of this tournament was best of 3, so it was even more stressful. I had gone to losers, I think, in winners quarters of this tournament because I lost to a Snake player. I never played Brawl, so I had never seen a Snake before in my entire life. I was like trying to combo him with Squirtle, and every single time I hit him, I would explode. I was like, what is happening? I didn't know about grenades being frame 1. When I saw him drop C4 on the ground, I thought it was like Isabel's like Lloyd things where you can hit it and break it. But turns out that is not what that is. You could not hit C4, and I blew up many times trying to break it. And I had to get a crash course on Snake from Sai, who's actually one of the people commentating this set, and a couple other Brawl vets are like giving me a quick crash course on everything that Snake does. So when I played this guy in losers finals of the tournament, which I did, I ended up beating him. But then came the real test after I had like made it past all the matchup checks. I then had Stardust, and I think by this point everybody knew that Wolf was really good, but I had never played a Wolf at this point. I wasn't sure what made him really good, and I remember getting like absolutely mollywopped for like the first 2 games of this set. I went down 2-0 in the grand finals here, and I was able to claw it all the way back to win the tournament. And I remember like this was a crazy time. I don't know. I think watching this is so funny because I remember like some of the ways I used to play was very, very different. I used a lot of withdrawal with Squirtle. I had like Cincinnati convinced that withdrawal was like one of the best moves in the entire game. No one was punishing it. Like right there, like I just used it in neutral like every 5 seconds. I was one of like, I found out about sliding F tilt really quickly, and that was really broken on Squirtle because it lets you do like sliding F tilt grab. So like one of the things that carried me through this tournament was getting a whole bunch of grab combos really early on. I was really, really, really aggressive too. You just like see this, I was like holding forward into everything he did. I got messed up there. Yeah, I was like constantly holding forward. Stardust was always a more patient player than me, which, by the way, Stardust, Jin's old tag was Stardust. He was a Sonic player in Smash 4. I think he changed his tag somewhere in 2019, which was before this. And yeah, Stardust I'd beaten Stardust in Smash 4, but I think he generally tended to win more of our sets than not. And he was certainly a higher ranked player. He would have been someone expected to win this regional, whereas I don't think that I had won a single one up to this point. I think I was the 1 seed for this tournament because I had won a local or something beforehand, but really no one knew how anyone was going to perform here. This was definitely just no one knew what was happening. But honestly, this is like pretty sound corner pressure even today. Yeah, that's not how you edgeguard Wolf. I did not know about Wolf back air, how strong it was, or how safe it was if you auto-canceled. Smash Ultimate frame data I don't think was a thing at this point yet either, so I didn't know like frame data at all. Which, to be fair, I don't think I was the type of player to really care about frame data at this point. Yeah, I definitely was just like winging almost everything by feel, which is like, yeah, I remember how stressful that was, just not knowing anything. I'm mashing withdrawal out of hit stun. Like, I don't think I have pressed withdrawal like this many times in the last year as I have in just these 2 games alone. But oh, I'm getting less trapped again. I can't believe you let me get that nair out. That nair was so bad. I think the nair even came out slower. I could be wrong on that one. What am I doing? I could have died for that. It would have been such an easy down smash. He wouldn't even need to charge it. Ending with down air is funny. What am I doing? I think I tried the side B there. I don't know how I lived both of those. That would have killed me if that sweet spot. Even today, that would kill me. Yeah, I'm just getting ledge trapped. My ledge options were horrible. I wanted him to jump so bad. I kept trying to read it with up air. That spot dodge is so huge. He could have done that the other way, like if he reversed that up B and could have just held down and killed me. You have to do that down air for more on stage to avoid that happening. But yeah, winning that set like that, that reverse 3-0, we won't watch the second set, but I ended up winning 3-1 in the second set. And it really kind of solidified me as a new era. Like for almost all of, I think, Smash Ultimate history, I've always been like the #1 player between like the Cincinnati, Kentucky, Indiana region. I don't think it's really quite the region that it used to be anymore. I think it's like by state now. Indiana's his own, Kentucky's his own thing, and it's his own thing. But like for that period of like early Ultimate, when the region was still like it was in Smash 4. I was like the #1 player, and I had never been the best player in any region. So like it was definitely like a next level step for me. Like from this point on, I won another regional like immediately after this. I was like really solidifying myself as like the regional threat this part of the country. And like from there it became like my next goal is like, okay, I'm gonna be like the best player in Ohio. Which became like a goal that I would chase after for a very, very long time after this. So yeah, that was the next one. I think the next one is one that a lot of people know about. This is where a lot of people started hearing about me. This was like something that would have made you know about me if you were in that region. But like something that made me known at like the national level was me versus MK Leo at Riptide 2021. No one really thought this set was going to come into much, and neither did I. I went into this, I really wanted it to happen. I wanted the experience of having played MK Leo, but I was going into this set with the mindset of I want to come in with a plan, and I want him to show me why this plan's not going to work. I was like, I'm going to try to do this about this character if he goes Byleth, because he was doing a lot of Byleth at this point. Or if he goes Aegis, I want to try to do this, and if he goes Joker, I want to try to do this. And he ended up going Aegis the whole set, which is probably the best draw for me. I think of those 3 characters, I'm the best Aegis. And the ideas that I had going in, I was like, I'm going to rely on a lot of defensive short hops and ideas that I still do now versus Aegis, because I proved that they kind of worked. And I wanted to see what he would do to adapt. I wanted to I wanted to get adapted on by a top player. And it's definitely what ended up happening, I think, to an extent. But I was so shocked at how well just having a simple plan worked against the best player in the world. This set, the first game, I don't know, I was just really not stressed. I only really got stressed once I realized I could win. It was so easy to play this set from the perspective of someone with no expectation. And yeah, so I was like, this is already an insane amount of restraint. The fact that I haven't tried to swing at him yet, definitely is prepared. Yeah, I don't think TKE I think if they knew where this was in bracket, I think they'd be a little less surprised. But yeah, this fact that they were expecting this from pools round 1. Now, I was playing real neutral, which was not super usual of me at the time. That's like part of like this set kind of like taught me like what real top player neutral was. I don't think I had actually like really played like a top 10 player much before this. Even in Smash 4, I don't think I ever played like a top 10 player. At least in bracket. And for it to be MKLeo to be my first is kind of funny. Yeah, I still had really bad off edge habits, especially like I don't know. I definitely was like just like ledge jumping and praying, and top players eat that. Doing aerials like that are like super laggy and super committed. I'd be very disappointed in myself. That's definitely like part of what cost me this. Is like even though I had like a really good plan going in, I didn't quite have like top player decision making, especially in neutral. But I definitely understand how to gimp an Aegis there. That's very easy. This matchup is like not bad for PT, but it's also one I don't love a ton because of how like losing it feels. Even if it's like objectively not that bad, like this is like most of the matchup where like you're just getting shredded the entire time, and then you hit like Aegis one time and it all okay. Honestly, I could have gotten more there. Yeah, I'm being so aggressive off it. It's gonna tear me apart. Like the moment like I get up, I just immediately like lash out of the corner. Bad play. Leo's a good enough player to know that if he missed a punish on like a neutral get up or something like that, that he just needs to back up and like let me hang myself, because that's the level of player that I am at this point, and I'm going to do it. And I definitely hang myself. Oh, he could have up beat me. I don't know if it would have killed. I don't think he had time to up air. He might have, honestly. And this is where I remember like I started feeling it. Like there's certain points, or like especially when you play PT and Charizard, when all of a sudden like you just get like a little taste of like blood or something like that, right? Like you're a shark, and like the moment I hit this parry F tilt, all of a sudden I realized like, wait, I think I'm winning this. It's like this all bad, and like it's like the moment I think like Leo lost control of the game, and this is all became like just like wait a minute, momentum's so good. Definitely fishing a little bit. This full hop read, I remember this distinctly. Right here, where I was just like, he's going to jump. I'm gonna run around, I'm gonna wait for him to jump, and that's what I'm gonna forward her. I wasn't gonna do anything else, because like every top player like likes to full hop here. And it just made so much sense. And then that neutral get up was really bad. Honestly, because of the way I did the F tilt, I might have given him like, yeah, that's all like that's all a flowchart edge guard actually. It looks like really cool, but like I don't know if you know anything about edge guarding Aegis in PT. Yeah, you have to go low again as Aegis in order to survive that. I think he might have been trying to hit me with the initial hit like through the stage, but I knew that he wasn't high enough for that hit by flame. I think grab would have been a better punish. He like down throw up airs. The game's definitely like kind of over at this point. Honestly, I've come back from worse in this matchup. It's definitely, this matchup is something where a comeback's always possible for PT. You could always just hit him once and get an edge guard. But really, this last game was like the one where it was really possible. I let Yoshi's Tail play as the music for this. Come on, I should have picked Karma or something. It's just so funny. This is like the music that's like blaring through the venue as everyone was like watching super intently. So many top players like found out about me on that day. Like I remember like Aaron started talking to me. He's like, dude, you were like, oh, you were the guy that almost beat MKLeo. I was the guy that almost beat MKLeo for like months after this, which is very funny to me because I don't know. It's shouldn't be hard to remember, but for anyone who got in the scene super recently, y'all might know like MKLeo is like a really good player, but like back at this point especially, Leo just didn't lose. He was like freestyling on the competition with like his Byleth. Like everyone thought Byleth was bad and he was still winning. And like Byleth's definitely like not bad, but like Byleth also isn't like crazy good in my opinion. And like the fact that he was still like waxing like all the top players with them is so insane. I was just playing really good Squirtle advantage. I think also one thing that like really stood out about me at this time that like gave me a better chance against Leo is I think my Squirtle was like really good, especially in like I think comparison to a lot of other PTs at this time. I think my Squirtle was like always like really far ahead of the curve. I think less so now. I think a lot of the PTs have certainly caught up or surpassed me. But I was like really proud of my like Squirtle play back in this time especially, and that's like really helpful in matchups like these where there's a lot of really intense neutral. Yeah. I got this read game 1-2, I think, where I just do like an empty hop and I bait a full hop with it, because every top player has this like up and down thing where they like to do, where when one player like, I call it like the leapfrog, where like when one top player likes to do a full hop and they land with it, the other one likes like, okay, it's my turn to jump now. They're like, it's like a way they kind of like jockey for position, but like you can like disrupt that flow by like giving them a jump but not giving them any lag with the jump by doing an empty land, and then just reading their next jump that they do after it. They're top players, so they're gonna figure it out quickly. It's just like something that tends to get them a lot, because it like disrupts the normally correct flow of the game. Ooh, I think I probably should have just gone for like a sliding F tilt because of how hard he DI'd down. Yeah, I just knew that I was gonna like. I just picked options. I was never comfortable picking nothing. That Flare Blitz is horrible. I had no reason doing that. Just go to ledge. My advantage is also not super great. I'm like overextending a lot and giving like chances to reversal. Honestly, Leila's not taking a lot of the chances, which is probably what helped me. But like a lot of people would be sneaking by my advantage here. But I think I was also just like starting to get desperate to hit him at this point. So I was like taking anything that looked like an opportunity. See, like how I'm picking an option every single time? I'm just going straight into him and picking an option. Like Leo's beating it every time by just waiting. That's like the first time I didn't do anything aggressive off edge. I just jumped and didn't press the button. And like that lead I had like a minute ago was so good. Like I straight up think that like me now like super won this set. Oh, he was able to stall that? That's crazy. Honestly, I don't even disagree with that switch. I thought like his gravity would have pulled him too far down to like wait out the switch to get that up air. But I think I get the stock back like right back. Because I think I remember it going to 0-0 basically. Oh, not quite. That arrow's kind of cute. Make sure I get the tech chase. Yeah, and I hit that. I shouldn't have switched here. This was what killed me. So this is the moment I realized I could win. When I hit this water gun right here. I was like, I hit it, and I realized he had his jump. He didn't have his jump, but I was like, wasn't sure about it. I second guessed, like, what if he does have his jump? But I knew he didn't have his jump, but what if he does? So I switched to Ivysaur right here, thinking that he might have his jump, and I want to be able to cover it with the downer just in case he didn't. I needed to stay on Squirtle so that I have a chance in neutral versus MK Leo right here, but I don't, and that ends up costing me pretty much everything, because then I panic and I like screwed up my switch cancel. My hands literally like fumbled. I tried to vine whip and I just ended up crouching, trying to like vine whip buffer switch, and I just end up crouching, and that like this whole sequence like leaves me stuck on Charizard here, and I'm pretty sure I just get 0 to death because I'm trying to switch back to Squirtle desperately, but I just don't ever touch the ground after this, and I just completely panicked. This is like one of the things that's like why I just shouldn't have won this set. I wasn't quite ready to get there. A lot of people win this set, a lot of like top players, because top players don't panic like this. But like up to this point, I had been doing pretty good. But this is definitely the last fatal cost to this point. Yeah, I auto-canceled that, which was really good. That's like kind of tight actually. But, ooh, I'm surprised that never missed. But, yeah, and then he gets me that way. I was swinging just way too aggressively. I don't think I grabbed him many times either. So, like, him playing in shield was just something I'm really comfortable with. Yeah, so this set was really important to me because I remember when I lost this, I was upset with myself. And for, like, I don't know, for the longest time, I'd always been someone who'd been, like, okay with losing if it was, like, you know, like, if I played well, if I lost someone really, really good and someone I respect really, really, really hard, like, Like, I was like, yeah, I get it. I'm just, like, not there yet or something like that. But, like, here, I was there. Like, I knew I was there. And I was like, wait, if I'm there versus MKLeo, I'm there versus everyone. Like, this is, like, the point in which I, like, stopped being, like, complacent, I think. This is when I knew I was, like, capable of, like, almost anything. It's not entirely true. Like, Leo's, honestly, as far as, like, top player draws, probably one of the better people I could have gotten. Like, Leo's Aegis especially, because I was really good at that matchup at this time. Like, I would have not wanted to get, like, Shuton or something like that. Someone who, like, plays, like, really bad matchups, like, for my characters, like Olimar. I wouldn't have wanted Tweaks Diddy or something like that. But, like, Aegis, like, is a pretty good draw. But, like, just the fact that it's the best player in the world, and I was like, man, I had that. I had that. There was a real world where I won this. With, the, like, the skill level I was at the time, and I'm, like, so much better than that now. I still have, like, a chance versus these people. It was definitely, like, the moment where, like, a real world of, like, the possibilities of being a top player were just opened up to. So yeah, that was definitely like the second set. And then the last one we'll do is me versus Skittles at SOS 7. This was a huge tournament for me. SOS was my breakout tournament in Smash 4. SOS 4, I think the VODs are out there for that, but I don't think like all of the sets are. I went on a really long losers run that tournament. I don't think I was like seeded to make like even like top 16 there, and I ended up getting like all the way to top 4. And like from that point on, I think I was like solidly top 8ing every regional in like time. SOS 4, I remember like the experience. It's really like a unique place. It's the place where my local was held in this old abandoned mall, as you can see. And this was the last SOS that they were holding there. After that, the mall's been, I think, like torn down. And it was really like special to me that I do something. The tournaments leading up to this too, I had been to 2 Midwest regionals prior to this, where I would made it to winners quarters and then just immediately lost twice to get 9th. And I was really like disappointed in myself because it's like the early parts of like me starting to like travel. I knew I was like way more capable of that. I could like do better than the way I was doing. But here at SOS 7, I had like a combination of like fortune and just really, really good play for mine. The fortune was that the top player I was supposed to play to have to make top 8 winners side was Leon, who got upset by Biggie Cheese, who's a local legend. And Biggie Cheese got upset by someone else, who is like someone I had never lost to. But I almost lost him to this tournament, and I was so stressed out because I just have to make top 8 and then I'm happy. I just have to make top 8, then I'm happy. And I barely made it past that player. I think the tag's pneumatic. Once I had done that, I was like at a certain degree of peace. Like, I've already made it to the point, even though I hadn't really like beaten anything I wasn't supposed to, like anyone I wasn't supposed to. I had like already made it to the point in bracket where I was like okay with myself. I can say that I top 8'd a regional. Finally, took long enough. And then after this point, I played with no stress, and it was some of the best Smash I've ever played in my life. Sometimes I still watch this set and like see myself moving in ways that I wish I could like intentionally replicate. I really don't know what I was on after that point. Oh, the audio is so
anyways,
much
guys, let's.
But I had won versus Skittles in winners finals. I beat AK for the first time in winners semis. That was a big deal, especially since AK was someone who had sent me to losers in both of the previous 2 regionals where I got 9th. But here was me versus the winners finals of Skittles, who I never played up to that point, and I was really good versus Young Link. Ohio had so many between Toast and Colin. I had a lot of practice, and I was able to beat Skittles in winners finals very, very narrowly. But Skittles was like a terror at this point. Skittles I think had won both of those regionals that I had gotten 9th at. He was like winning every like Midwest regional at this point. He was the guy to beat. The fact that I'd already beaten him in winners finals didn't mean a whole lot. A lot of those regionals he won over players like Zamba by coming through losers. And so like I knew this was going to be like very hard. Skittles isn't the type of player to just be out of it just because he has to win 2 sets. But I moved so well. I was really, really like proud of like a lot of like what I did here. I think like all the times, like me versus Leo was like the first time I really like proved to myself that I can compete with anybody. But like here I could like prove to myself that I could like beat anybody. I think like here I played like a PGR player. I played like that top 50 player that I like really, really like wanted to be but never was quite sure. Just because I could beat a top 50 player or beat a top 10 player doesn't necessarily mean you could beat me. I think today I was one of them, or at least this day. And I was really, I don't know, this set, the background where like all the people behind me, I definitely had like home field advantage. This was like the first like, I don't know, I'd won regionals before, but like those were like regionals versus like more local people within like 2-hour radius. Like this is the time where I'm like really going up against like the best players in the Midwest, you know? Just died there. Skittles, one of the things that set him apart from Toast is that Skittles really likes like to. I think Skittles like moves a lot more than Toast does. Yeah. So I saw him do another projectile. He didn't do the arrow that time, but that's what the readout was going for. So that's how I got this first berry. And then he does the boomerang again over here, and I'm like, he's gonna do an arrow because that's like the ledge trap that he likes to do a lot. And that's how I got that the second one. But keeping like track of like projectile patterns is a really important part of like beating zoners like this. Got us the TCW in the background. I think is that like Danny Phantasma too? I think that was one of the players there. Like really like all of the people that I grew up with like in the Smash scene were all here to watch this. It was a really special time. The commentators like mics aren't picking it up, but like it was really loud. This was a grassroots regional like hometown hero kind of moment, and I got to be the hometown hero, which it's like to me it's one of the best memories of my entire life was playing this set and winning this tournament. I remember it was like it was so cool to me to feel like the best player in the Midwest, because for that like this day I was, and that's like so cool. Which he shouldn't have zeroed there. Dang, watching all these sets making me realize how often like my opponents SD. What are they talking about? Is they talking about Samus's Starbucks order? You would know, Emma. Yeah, he's not dead yet, but he's basically dead. I shouldn't have edge guarded like this. This is something I've improved on since. So like I got the jump read back air, and that was like it. But the way you edge guard this, if like say he could have made it to edge, is I just drop and I back air again. No reason to do that flip kick. I was trying to do way too much. But this last game was crazy. I remember it was so crazy. I'll just leave it at that. Let the rest of it play for itself. Ooh, I had that back read too. He loves to do all these like really like close projectiles sometimes. I think he's just like a lot greedier than Toast is, which is like has his downfalls and his advantage. I think Hero is definitely more to his detriment, just because I am probably more versed in dealing with youngling projectiles than most people. And so I think a lot less of those risks started paying off. I could have edge guarded him so much better. This is so easy. Like I get to the hard part where I hit this air, and I just gotta like run off and get ready to back air him, or drop down and be a reverse boost kick it. Like both of those work. Going for the flip kick here was horrible. Yeah, but he can't do that back air. I can tell he just did it too high. I think I start running away for it a little bit, but he definitely brings it back. And at this point, like, that was like one of those, like, oh, I'm winning this tournament. That down tilt turnaround rate is so nice. I was also, like, thinking, like, I just need little hits. I just need little hits. Like, the fact that I'm, like, careful, like, okay, just getting, like, Zero dash attack, I just need little hits. Every little bit of percent is going to help me later in the end. Ooh, that's greedy. I shouldn't be holding that down smash like that. I shouldn't have gone for the down smash. Ooh, I don't think jab would have hit. I think he was too far away. But, like, jab reset would have been possible. I don't think I get a kill off of it either way. I think it's just damage. Yeah, and he gets the stock here, and he definitely brings it back, because this was close. I'm so like I wanted it so bad. This is the part is like, wait, no, it's slipping. I want it. I want it. He caught my jump, and I was like, oh no, I'm freaking out. I just need to touch the ground. That nair dodge was important because it let me touch the ground again and gave my resources back. It cost me way too much percent, but like the way I was playing disadvantage was like freaking out. Me freaking out again. I gotta get it under control. That didn't kill. Nope. I got so many fake kill screens. Oh, I had the air dodge read too. I didn't even forgot about that one. I wanted him to roll. He wouldn't give it to me. I almost did. I had bad DI in the down air too. That down air was really, really specific. Skittles has just been in this situation so many times, especially around this period. Like Skittles was really like the clutch like Midwest tournament winner. Ooh. Yeah, I knew I grabbed him, so like, you can go for that up throw read on like the missed DI. But for one thing, I had a feeling it would kill screen, which gives them the time to fix the DI. He still did die. And then that air dodge read that I got earlier. Ooh! It was so loud. The and it really was like the way they're talking about it. It's like the storybook ending. But yeah, this was like honestly the best day of my entire life. And I remember we went to get sushi like really late night at this place downtown afterwards, and I remember thinking like, man, I am the best player in the Midwest today. That's so cool. And ever since then, it's been my goal to win a major, because I don't think I like need to be MK Leo maybe, or that'd be awesome to be MK Leo or something like that, where I'm the best player in the world. But at least for one day, I want to feel like I was the best player in the world, and it's been because of this day. SOS, like, it was the first day where I was like, man, I am one of the best players in the Midwest. That day, I was the best player in the Midwest. Everyone was there. Skittles, AK, Nodo. Onan wasn't there yet. Onan wasn't popping off. But like at that time, I was the best player in the Midwest at that day. So yeah, those are the 3 moments that are the most important to me. Those, I think, the moments of big growth for me, like things where I achieved things that, days where I achieved things that I don't think I had done to that point, and things that like set me to like shoot for bigger heights after that point. Some of them you might know them, some of them you might not have. I bet a lot of people didn't know about that set versus Jin, or Stardust as he was known at the time. But yeah, make sure you check out Geist as well. I know he goes really in depth on very important sets for him. And yeah, check out the rest of Spears content. Have a great day.